Okay, hi everybody. Today you are going to learn about Parshat Kedoshim. That's what this video is going to be about. This Parsha has a lot of very cool laws, very famous laws, such as Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. It has laws regarding honoring your parents and respecting your parents, laws regarding Shabbos, and so much more. The word kadosh, as you know, means holy. It could also mean separate. I want you to think about while we're watching this video, why, if we have all these mitzvot that Hashem gave us, why would Hashem need to make a whole separate mitzvah that says, kedoshim to you, that you should be holy? Wouldn't we think that, well, if we keep Shabbos, we keep kosher, we keep whatever, tznius, we honor our friends, wouldn't that automatically just make us holy? Why does Hashem separately need to tell us kedoshim to you? So I want you to think about that question as we're watching this video. Okay, so the parsha starts by saying, Diber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael ve'amarta aleihim kedoshim tiyu ki kadosh ani Hashem Elokechem. That you should speak to the entire Bnei Israel and say to them, you should be holy because I, Hashem, your God, is holy. Am holy. Rashi comments about why it says Diber el kol adat b'nei Israel. Because normally when Moshe Rabbeinu would tell over the Torah, he would teach it privately to Aaron, Nadav and Avihu would join them, and then Moshe would repeat the teaching, and then the Zakanim would come, and Moshe would repeat it again, and then finally he would teach it to Bnei Israel. But in this case, the order was kind of changed. Moshe first assembled the entire nation and then taught this chapter to everyone at the same time of Kedoshim. And the reason is because the Torah's essential laws are really contained in this one parsha, either straight out or all the other laws are alluded to. And maybe that also could help you answer my original question of what does it really mean, Kedoshim to you, if we already know all the mitzvot. So think about the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu really thought that it was important to teach all this to Bnei Israel simultaneously, not through the normal order, because in this parsha, the whole Torah is contained. Okay, one of the laws in this parsha is Ish imo ve'aviv tirau, and then it talks about Shabbos. So we already had in the Aseret Dibrot, kaved et avicha ve'et imecha. So we already had a law that said to honor your father and mother. Interestingly, here the order is reversed. It says imo ve'aviv tirau, your mom and your dad you should fear. So Rashi, of course, is going to ask a question about this because it's not the same order that was used before. It's a different order now. Is that it may seem more natural to you to fear your father over your mother. But Rashi here is telling us that the reason it's putting mother before father is to teach you that even if it's more natural for you to fear your father over your mother, you still must also fear your mother. So too in the reverse, when it said kaved et avicha ve'et imecha, it may seem more natural to you to honor your mother over your father, but it doesn't matter if it's more natural to you, you still have to honor both equally and you have to fear both equally. And how do you honor your parents? You're always respectful to them. You don't call them by their first names. If they ask you to do something, you do it. And they tell us that if we honor our parents, the reward is great. So we really should, in general, honor our parents, not for the reward, but just keep in mind it might be a hard mitzvah, but it's so important to do it. Next mitzvah we're going to talk about is B'tzedek Tishbot Amitecha. Rashi tells us that this means that we should always give each other the benefit of the doubt. So what does that mean? I don't know this guy's name, but let's say Kermit does something that offends this guy. Then this guy needs to try to think in his head why Kermit would do it and judge him in a favorable way. So if Kermit doesn't call back this guy, instead of being like, oh, Kermit is the worst, he never calls me back, he always ignores me, this guy could think, by the way, if you know the name of this guy, please feel free to tell me that in school. This guy could think, well, maybe Kermit was busy that day, or maybe Kermit, his phone died or something like that. We always want to make sure to give each other the benefit of the doubt, because the truth is that if we do something wrong, we know the reasons why we do it and we think that they're favorable reasons. So we should also give our friends favorable reasons for doing things that to us may seem wrong. Next mitzvah says lo telech rachil be'amecha. So what does that mean? It basically means that you shouldn't be a gossiper. So let's say someone tells you something not nice about someone else. You shouldn't be that person that goes to spread that gossip to someone else. That's why it says the word rachil is related to peddler, because a gossip will go from person to person and house to house, peddling, quote unquote, his slander and gossip. That's why it says lo telech rachil, that you shouldn't be going around spreading rumors and spreading gossip. You definitely wouldn't want that done about you. So why would you do that about someone else? Next mitzvah says, Lo ta'aseh avel b'mishpat. Um, and what does that mean? That means that you should not pervert justice. This is really talking about a judge. Let's say a judge hears two people give a case. That judge is not allowed to be like, well, I like you more, so I'm just going to say that you're right. Or like, you're rich and I think you're going to give me money, so I'm just going to say that you're right. We always want to make sure to be as honest as possible. Okay, and just the last thing we're going to talk about, the last slide, is this pasuk that says, "Vayitim li kedoshim, ki kadosh ani Hashem, ve'avdel etchem min ha'amim liot li," which means you shall be holy for me, for I Hashem am holy, and I have separated you from the people to be mine. Okay, so Rashi tells us, what does this mean? So first of all, that we have to keep ourselves apart from the other nations. And how do we do that? Well, we have certain mitzvot that definitely keep us apart. We're keeping kosher. No other nation really is keeping kosher. We're keeping Shabbos. No other nation really is keeping Shabbos. But this is more talking about, Rashi's going to say, about like our mindset. So Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah said, you shouldn't say, oh, like I cannot stand pig meat. Instead, you should probably say, listen, like I'd like to taste pig meat, but what can I do? Hashem forbade it, and he commanded me to separate myself from the nations, and I'm going to keep this mitzvah because Hashem commanded me to do so, and I'm happy to do what Hashem wants. We shouldn't be like, oh, like I can't stand using my phone on Shabbos, but instead we should say to ourselves, I'd like to be able to do that, but the truth is Hashem commanded me not to do it, and I'm Hashem's child, and I'm going to do what Hashem wants me to do, and I'm happy to do it. So it's all about our mindset and the way we keep our mitzvot, that we're really happy to do it. We're doing it b'simcha, and also we're doing it because Hashem told us to do it, and we're His people, and that's it. We're just going to do it because Hashem told us to do it. All right, guys, I hope you thought about why Hashem gave us a separate mitzvah of kedoshim to you. And I think part of the answer is that, Hashem gives us all these mitzvot, and it's still important on top of that for our mindset to always be holy and not to use our mitzvot, not to be unholy. We want to make sure that we're always being as nice and as pure as possible. Shabbat Shalom, and I hope you enjoyed this Parsha video.